we are gonna take it on to actually get into what we're here to talk about today, which is the buddy program that our chapter started just last year. So, Jasmine, do you want to kick it off here?
Yeah, definitely. So pretty much we launched our little buddy program a year, no, technically a semester ago from this semester, but we kind of started formulating the idea a year ago when I was vice president of programming. Obviously, during COVID, there weren't that many programming options since our campus wasn't on a physical space. So we needed more ideas to keep our members engaged and kind of get things up and started for the year and make our presence known on campus and really help spread the mission that She's the First is all about. So we started the buddy program as a way to stop feeling isolated in the virtual environment, create a sense of community. Something that was really important COVID was definitely membership retention, which was kind of difficult for our chapter, at least because we had a lot of older people graduate. And then also with the challenges of COVID, people aren't really wanting to join another Zoom session or whatever. So, we wanted to keep things active and interactive and everything. Also definitely creating mentorship opportunities within our chapter, because there definitely was also a big divide between a large freshman class and a lot of seniors and juniors last year. So we definitely wanted to create a type of membership bond, to help younger members kind of get involved in She's the First, get involved, obviously She's the First, our mission is all about leadership. So we wanted to spread that within our own chapter. The best way to start that is within your own community, in your own backyard. So definitely it was a great way to start a type of mentorship. And yeah, just helping new students feel connected to She's the First and our campus without having the physical space. So these are all the reasons why we started the buddy program. And yeah, we really hope to, spread the joy of the buddy program within She's the First and other chapters and continue it this semester.
So how we piloted the program, I think probably the most important part was making sure that after we developed the idea that the members were actually interested and wanted to participate in everything. So I wasn't on the e-board last semester, so I can share from the perspective of a freshman, someone who had never been on campus before. So hearing about this idea was definitely super exciting to me, and I know a lot of other first year students, because it was a way to talk with people who had been on campus and who could answer some questions, and also like just chat and talk about She's the First and our school and everything, and just connect more and get more involved in the program. So yeah, we pitched the idea to general body members and then sent out this interest form, with which you can see some fun screenshots of, which not only asked preliminary questions about name, grade, pronouns, major, etc., but asked some more kind of in-depth questions about just to get to know each other and just see if there were any shared similar interests. So once this form was sent out, then the freshman liaison, which is a e-board member we have at American, definitely reached out to the freshmen, including me, to encourage us to get more involved in the program, fill out the form. And then once people filled it out, we were able to match people with their buddies. So I was matched with someone named Hannah, who was a senior at the time. And it was really great because we had similar majors and we both worked at a preschool. So we had that similar interest that we were able to chat about and help us break the ice and get to know each other a little more. And then also ask some questions about She's the First and everything, how to get more involved. She definitely talked to me a little more about getting involved in the e-board and applying for that process. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing your experience, Isabella. Again, yeah, I was also being a junior last year. I was matched with someone who was a freshman. So that was really cool. Her name's Ava, and just found that the matching went really well. We had a lot in common, and a lot of shared interests. So kind of the responses of what we got after, we made all the matches. We had great reaction from both new members and old members. A lot of the new members were reporting that, like, they're like, oh, like my buddy like texted me, my buddy DM'd me on Instagram, getting kind of excited about that. And I just like, it was nice because like I have a little sister myself, and it was nice to like also just kind of like feel like I had another little sister within like my community, at which is a community of She's the First, which is one that I hold very close to my heart. We had a really positive reaction on social media as well. We posted about the buddy program and kind of gave some information about it. We got a lot of DMs from other chapters, both high school and college chapters, who were interested in learning more about it. So that's kind of why we are here today, just to talk about that, give you guys kind of like a step-by-step of how we went about this, in case you're interested in starting a chapter or starting a program within your own chapter or within your school. So yeah, this is kind of what our post looked like. We had like all these nice graphics that we posted. And as you can kind of see in the comments, like, you know, people were excited about it, got some good reactions on our Instagram. Yeah, so it was just really nice to have like a lot of positive feedback from other people, and like seeing that people were kind of noticing what we were doing, and also kind of reaching out to us to ask for help about how they can do it within their own chapter as well. So that is kind of what we're here to talk about more, is expanding the buddy program, which is what we are hoping to do within our own chapter this year, this semester. We're introducing the buddy program again this semester. There's, you know, old matches will like kind of stay the same, but we're gonna have more members coming in. So, you know, you can have multiple buddies as well. It doesn't just have to be like one, you know, one and one. So yeah, that's kind of what we're hoping to continue to do, and continue to build that community within our own chapter. And hopefully being able to add some in-person components as well. A lot of how I interacted with my buddy was just over text, because she was not in DC, or over, you know, like sending TikToks back and forth to one another. That was kind of the main way that we were able to bond. So yeah, that's kind of, we're hoping to maybe add some more in-person components, whether, you know, because there's more people who are on campus, more people in the DC area. So potentially working with others. She's the first chapters within the DC area, and seeing if they want to expand the buddy program. So it's, you know, 3 schools, maybe GW, AU combined, also reaching out to high school chapters and college chapters, but and just seeing, you know, kind of what, if we can have more of like the, you know, high school mentorship and then the college mentorship, which we think would be really cool and beneficial, you know, encouraging high school members to go on to college, when they go into college, and either making their own She's the First chapters, or becoming leaders within existing She's the First chapters, depending on where they go to school. So yeah, that's kind of where it leads into right now. If you want to start a buddy program at your school, like in your chapter, and kind of what that would look like, which is we're here to help. So obviously the first step is you came to the buddy program workshop, which is first and foremost the most important. Obviously you don't have to come here and listen to the presentation in order to start one, but you get the VIP information from all of us right here. So I think the most important thing that Isabella and Jasmine both kind of touched upon is you want to gauge interest from your members too, and the campus community, because, you know, if you pitch this idea, your e-board might think, oh, this is a great idea, like we want to do this, but if you don't have any like actual interest from your members, or if they don't, you know, have the time to commit to it, then it's probably not going to work. So, you know, you just want to check in with your members on camp and your campus community. We recommend also presenting this like early in the semester, so either at like the first or the second general body meeting, or first second event that your chapter is doing, just because, you know, like you want to be able to have that like straight off. It's something to reel new members into, if they see, oh, like this is kind of like a cool thing that's added to it. It's very not to like, it's not for someone who maybe, you know, like is like, if there's Greek life on your campus or something like that, but, you know, like they don't want to be like involved in that. It's like more of like kind of having that like same camaraderie and community feeling in a sense, but, you know, not in the Greek life aspect. So that's why it's kind of cool to have this within the She's the First system, and create your interest form for matching. And, you know, that does take some time, because you want to make sure the questions are thorough, stuff, you know, interesting questions too, because you really want to gauge like what people are interested in and who you think might be a good match, based off of that, and make pairings. Jasmine was the one who made the pairings within our chapter. If you want to kind of talk about what your experience was like with that, Jasmine.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a way to do it probably more like efficient than I did, but pretty much what I did was I just went through all of the forms, and looked at people's responses to different questions, and made sure that, you know, one of the buddies was an upperclassman and the other one was either freshman or sophomore or new to AU. So I definitely look to pair that together and just maybe common interests. So like Isabella was saying, like her and her buddy both had experience like with education and like preschools and everything. My buddy and I were both the same major and had similar interests in like art and poetry and music and everything. So yeah, just looking to pair people with similar interests or complementary interests, and making sure there's like that mentorship relationship there.
Yeah, Jasmine did a great job with making all the buddy pairings. I know it took a lot of time, but we're very thankful that she went in and did all that. So that was awesome. Yeah, so you want to make sure that you have someone like on your e-board or like somebody within the chapter who like really wants to spend the time to make sure and go through all of those pairings, go through all the interest forms. So yeah, these are some activities like that. These are both kind of like virtual things and in-person things, like buddy program activities. We did like a letter writing, so it was almost like a pen pal sort of situation where, like, once you like knew who your buddy was, you could ask for what their address was, where they were located, and just like kind of doing like something fun. Like I feel like nobody writes letters anymore because everything's like all online. So and also like if they don't want to pay for stamps or anything, like just like doing email or texting or anything like that. Making playlists for your buddy. Me and my buddy Ava just like have a lot in like had a lot of like similar tastes in music. So these are like some playlists that I like shared with her that I like found on Spotify. Yeah, grabbing coffee in person. Hopefully, maybe your chapter or maybe your school is doing some things in person. Sending finals care packages, sending TikToks back and forth. That was kind of a lot of the way that my buddy and I communicated. I don't know if Isabella or Jasmine, do you guys want to share like anything else that you did with your buddy?
One small thing is like we would always like hype each other up on Instagram, which is I always kind of like fun and just a way to get to know each other a little more and like connect with different people from your school.
Yeah, I know also like a lot of other pairings, like a lot of them ended up meeting in person in a COVID safe manner, like meeting up outside and like grabbing coffee and everything. My buddy and I, like we would text and everything. There were some like barriers to meeting in person, but there's definitely a lot of different ways you can go about like bonding or whatever as well.
Yes. Lots of different options. And now hopefully as we're expanding our program and things are more in person, like people will be able to do more stuff in person. Um, but yeah, that's kind of concludes everything, the process of what we went through. If you want help with, coming, whether that's, help creating interest forms, help, like making social media graphics, information about it, definitely reach out to us. We would love to help you pilot your buddy program, or if you wanted to collaborate and do, like expand so there's more of a membership base within it, we would also be interested in doing that too. So you can reach out to us at either one of these platforms on Instagram or through email. But yeah, that concludes everything here within our workshop. So thank you everybody so much for coming out. Definitely, if you guys have any questions on Instagram, email, that's the best way to reach us. And yeah, hopefully you guys are inspired to start your own buddy program now. And I'll pass it off to Katie here.
Hey y'all. Thank you, Jenna, Isabella, Jasmine, so much for sharing. I know we have some other STF American chapter members here too. And y'all have just always been such a great example of what it means to be a campus chapter, and also so generous with your knowledge and your resources and your ideas for the rest of our chapter community. So I know a lot of folks are going to be watching this in the recording that's made available later, and so you might not be seeing this live, but just know that the students at American University are true trailblazers within our campus community, and we're really lucky to have their knowledge and their experience and their wisdom. And with that, I don't know if folks have other questions. I have one more question about your buddy program. I'd love to know about if you have included any type of like officer training within the pairings, or like if exec board members or officers are are paired up with younger students? Are you like encouraging them to learn about those roles? Because I think that's a question that we get from a lot of chapters, is how to transition that leadership and how to make sure that you get a really passionate group of seniors and then they all graduate, and the younger members haven't been trained. So would love to hear any advice that y'all have about that. And then if there's no other questions, we can wrap up at that point, and we'll make sure that this recording is available so that everyone else who's registered for the summit gets to soak up the immense wisdom that you're bringing to the table.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's something that we have not done, that we didn't do last year, which I think is something that's definitely really important, and I think something that would be a good idea to add in to this. I mean, I definitely personally like encouraged my buddy, to like come to meeting, to like make sure that they were like coming to meetings and taking on leadership opportunities, not just like within the She's the First, but like, just like taking on any leadership opportunities like within the campus community, because, it goes just like encouraging them, to reach to their highest potential that they can. So I think that's a great aspect of it. And just something that I think, is good to have, like workshops or anything like that with as a buddy bonding program would be great. I don't know, Jasmine or Isabella, if you have anything else you want to say about that.
Yeah, from my experience, similar to Jenna, we didn't necessarily have like, I guess, official officer training or leadership training, but that would definitely be a great idea for, chapters who want to start this in the future, and for us continuing the program this semester. But similar to Jenna, I did give like my buddy who was younger, like leadership advice, and like encouraged her to apply to the e-board of our chapter and everything. I don't know if Isabella wants to add on as well.
I would just say, I think that's a super good idea to just like kind of like learn more about, especially what to recommend. But I think what I really liked about me and my buddy's relationship was that it was super casual, and it wasn't very like structured and everything. It was just an ability to meet someone new and ask any questions. So I think like finding a way to balance the casual friendship aspect of it with a more formal like buddy system thing.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point that we sometimes forget, or at least I, as a person who's helping try to give y'all structure for how to run a chapter, that like the casual social relationships are such a big part of it. So thank you all so much for sharing.